Hello, this is State Senator Jeff Stone with my weekly capital update. This past week, I'm sad to say the legislature passed a big tax increase on the people of California, commonly referred to as the MCO tax. This tax on managed care companies, which is intended to pay for additional services for Medi-Cal in the state of California. I believe many of the legislators who supported this tax did so with pure intentions, but I believe had they read the bill's actual language, they may have voted differently. Supporters of the MCO tax, Democrats and the governor, didn't point out that there is no guarantee that health care premiums won't increase on hardworking California families. They didn't highlight the fact that we have a multi-billion-dollar surplus in California, and the surplus money could have easily been spent on paying more for our developmentally disabled community. They didn't focus on the reality that nearly $1 billion that will be raised by this tax increase can now be spent by Democrats on growing more state government once the May revision to the budget is introduced by the governor. This is a complicated tax increase, but here's basically how it works if everything goes according to plan. Managed care plans will be taxed. Who will pay for these tax increases? The most likely answer is consumers who belong to HMOs and PPOs. Under the deal that was passed, the taxes paid by plans, companies like Blue Cross, Kaiser, and other health insurance companies will be used to secure over $1 billion from the federal government to help pay for Medi-Cal. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee the taxes will go away if the federal government rejects the deal, which they very well could do. If the federal government rejects the deal, we're still left with a tax that could cost consumers hundreds of dollars a month in higher premiums, and we'll be left with still a large hole in our Medi-Cal program. The reality is that we can fix Medi-Cal with existing general fund revenues. The reality is that we didn't need a tax increase to fund other services by supporting our developmentally disabled communities. All we had to do was take 40% of 1 month's surplus revenue, and we could fully fund the programs that our most vulnerable people depend on. Unfortunately, the Democrats and governor have made other choices on how to spend our surplus dollars. Instead of increasing Medi-Cal reimbursement rates that would encourage more doctors to take Medi-Cal patients, the Democrats and the governor decided to spend surplus money on raises for state employees, many of whom aren't even needed. The nonpartisan Legislative Analyst's Office has told us there are thousands of public employees who aren't needed, including over 3,500 Caltrans workers who don't have anything to work on. But instead of spending our surplus on necessary programs, the public employee labor unions won out and secured raises for themselves. Over the next coming months, I'll be working on the budget with my colleagues, and my hope is that we can restore funding to programs that actually work like they're supposed to. We need to increase reimbursement rates for Medi-Cal. We need to fully fund our developmentally disabled community. If the federal government rejects a deal that came with the MCO tax increase, I promise you I will fight to make sure this tax increase that came this week will be repealed. People are taxed too much. Instead of the boondoggle projects like our high-speed rail project, we need to use our money to fix our crumbling roads and bridges and making sure our healthcare system works and keeping people safe and secure. As always, I'd like to hear what you have to think. Please visit me on Facebook, Twitter, or my website, and let me know what you think. It's an honor to serve you here in the State Senate, and thank you for listening.